between your favorite cats, Speedy, Guido, and Polyester. And get ready for some nostalgic pepperoni action. So put on your best pajamas, because we're going to party like it's 1991 with the return of the Samurai Pizza Cats!
Wow, Blast from the Past is right. I remember watching the show when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade and haven't heard from it since. I only vaguely remember the cartoon itself, but I do remember the old Tecmo game for the Famicom based on it quite well. It was one of those weird cases when a game was never released in the West, but made its way to Russia through the Chinese video game bootleg business. So what is the show about? Well, there's this place called Edopolis, which is like Edo period Japan, but with modern technology and populated by cyborg animals. They even have their own shogun who became mentally impaired after his wisdom teeth were removed. The main characters are cats who work in pizzeria by day and do heroic ninja deeds also by day. Usually they fight against this fox, one of the ministers who wants to overthrow the shogun. He employs this Karamaru fellow and his crow ninja clan to enact different schemes which always get thwarted by the heroes, and it's that kind of deal every episode. The game itself is a side-scrolling platformer, you know, as was the style at the time, with everything that entails. The controls are as you'd expect, A to jump and B to attack. If you double tap left or right, you'll do this cutely animated run and dash, and it has a weird quirk to it where it keeps going even if you let go of a directional button, which can occasionally result in jumping face first into an enemy. It also makes your jumps higher when you get a running start for some reason. At the start of each stage, you get to choose your character from the 3 main cats. Yattaro and Tsukashi are more or less identical gameplay-wise, but Pururun gets a unique scratch attack that hits twice instead of a normal weapon swing. Now, the choice of a main character doesn't matter all that much. However, choosing a character does play a large part in gameplay. On the very first stage, you will come across this large boulder that blocks your path. This is where you open the pause menu and switch to a different character. These 4 are the rescue team, also from the cartoon. Each of them has their own unique ability that will help you get through the stage. Rikinoshin can punch through these boulders, Goton can dig for dirt, Neki has swimming equipment, and Miyatoro can straight up fly. Almost every stage has obstacles that accommodate the rescue team members. In fact, the first stage has a section where you need to use each of their abilities one after another to help you learn how they work, which is, you know, good game design. Using the rescue team isn't mandatory most of the time, but they do help you get through the stages faster or find some hidden goodies. Note that you can only use their special abilities as long as you have energy in this gauge over here. If it runs out, you'll have to either switch back to your main character to have it gradually recharge, or find a special pickup that restores it. Every character also has access to Ninpo, which is essentially sub-weapons like in Castlevania, which can also be upgraded up to level 3. At level 1 everyone gets a simple shuriken, but level 2 is unique for everyone. At level 3 the rescue team members have some more unique abilities, but the main 3 get full-on screen nukes. Note that if you pick up a Ninpo upgrade while already at level 3, it will reset you back to level 1. So don't get greedy now. Going back to the stages, they are mostly linear with branching paths that usually require help from the rescue team. At least at first. Stages 5 onward usually have some sort of gimmick that won't let you just run straight forward without thinking, usually in the form of looping rooms. One cool thing I've noticed is that there are no bottomless pits anywhere in this game. You always either drop down to the lower floor or loop around. Every body of water you'll see, just hop in for a swim. Chances are, there's treasure in there. In one of the later stages, you will be traversing a flying fortress. This of course means jumping across platforms suspended in the air, right? So, here I am, standing on an edge of a platform, you know. And naturally, I think the same thing every rational person would in this scenario. I should jump off and see if it kills me. And no, it just takes you back to the first screen of a stage. I was almost disappointed, really. This kind of extends to the game's overall difficulty level. It's pretty easy for the most part. I only died once in the entire game on my initial playthrough. Incidentally, it was the only part of the game that's actually difficult, where you have to fight 2 bosses in a row on the penultimate stage. But as much as I like high difficulty, I'm not going to hold against the game because it was aimed at younger kids. Instead, I'm going to praise the game for its aesthetics. In-game graphics are up to par with what you'd expect from the console at the time. There are some nice looking animated backgrounds and characters have some cute animations going for them as well. On the other hand, stage music sounds nice, but individual tracks sound similar to the point of blending together, which is rather unfortunate. But where the game truly shines aesthetically is the cutscenes. They obviously don't reach the same cinematic heights as Tecmo's own Ninja Gaiden series, but these simple animated portraits still look very nice. The cutscenes also show off how faithful the game is to its source material. Every stage is framed as an episode of a show, each with their own premise and story, which is a great way to present your licensed video game. Later stages also ramp up the drama and connect into a story arc of sorts, and even introduce a new character unique to this game. The humor here is perfectly in line with the original cartoon too. This little joke here is taken straight from the first episode, practically word for word, but there is enough original material as well. Certain gags even made me laugh out loud. The narrator chimes in from time to time as well, again, just like in the original cartoon. And it just keeps going. You can already hear the 8-bit rendition of the opening theme song right there on the title screen, but some cutscene music is also taken straight from the cartoon. Even these screen nukes are attacks that the main trio use in the show, though Yataros doesn't off bosses in a single use here. This game is just that committed to being faithful to its source material. That isn't to say that the game is just about aesthetics, it is also very pleasant to play. Gameplay is very solid despite the low difficulty, and if you enjoy easy games that let you simply relax, I really recommend this one. And even better, if you have children, this is also a perfect game to introduce them to. Would be much better than whatever it is kids are playing nowadays at any rate. Thank you for watching, dear viewer. If you liked the video, you know what to do. It's been quite a while since I last posted anything here, so I decided to pick something simple to get back into it. Keep on rocking and I'll see you next time.